Hi, Doug with blockingtheplate.com, and this week's Goldbelly delivery is Melissa Cookston's Barbecue. She is the owner of Memphis BBQ and a multi-winning Best Barbecue Award winner. So I figured I'd give her barbecue a shot. Some of the barbecue places that Goldbelly offers I've actually eaten at in person, so I figured I'd give this one a shot because I haven't eaten there and I hadn't heard of her or her barbecue before. So crack this open, got a rack of ribs, and this is the dinner for 4. So it also comes with 2 packs of pulled pork. Now these are vacuum sealed, so these things are tight. They are frozen solid, so we'll want to make sure they have some time to thaw out before cooking here today, but there's going to be more meat in here than it looks like with these vacuum packages. In addition to the rack of ribs and 2 things of pork, also comes with a jar of seasoning as well as a bottle of barbecue. A little surprised this is plastic. I thought it'd be glass. But, so you think about value-wise, this is roughly $100. So if you go to a restaurant, you figure, okay, a rack of ribs, $15. Figure 4 sandwiches, let's say, $8 a piece or so. So, your mid-30s, $45. Thing of seasoning, probably about $5, and then a jar sauce about $5. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, about $50 to $60 worth of actual product here. So when you think about it, $100, again, it's not about the cost of it. It's about the experience of having food from another area, food from another vendor you don't have here locally. And then just think about the fact, I know a lot of people have commented in past videos that, geez, well, Goldbelly is so expensive or it's not worth it. Keep in mind, if you go to a restaurant, you're not just eating a rack of ribs and a pork sandwich. You're getting sides, you're having a drink, you're tipping the wait staff, hopefully generously, especially after COVID. So keep all those things in mind when you're thinking about Goldbelly. On the surface, Goldbelly may seem more expensive, but once you kind of break it into bites, no pun intended, it's not as bad as you think. So I'm gonna give this pork some time to thaw. Later here today, we're gonna put these probably in the oven versus the grill. I have a charcoal grill, I have a gas grill, and I have a Traeger. But what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna mess with the flavor profile of these already smoked meats. The last thing I wanna do is influence them in maybe a way that they weren't originally cooked in. So I'm actually gonna put these just in the oven to reheat today before I give it a shot. But before I do that, I'm gonna run to the store. I'm gonna buy some sides, right? So my wife's gonna make some mac and cheese tonight. I'll probably buy some coleslaw for sandwiches. All those things that are super cheap to buy here locally and that you don't need to order through Goldbelly for those sides. So we'll see where these go at here in a couple of hours, and stay tuned. Coming up next, something to eat. Melissa Cookston's barbecue is officially done and out. So the pork is done by boiling the bags that come in, and right out, smells pretty good. Prep-wise, I will give you a warning though, and that's this bag right here. You're gonna notice it's pretty wet. Unfortunately, I did not notice that there was a tear in the bag. So if I was gonna make a recommendation to you, if you're ordering meats that are gonna be, maybe boiled in a bag to reheat, probably worth doing a double bag and some kind of a Ziploc or something, just in case you had a tear you didn't notice, like happened to me. So I'm still gonna try to use this. I'll drain it out, but primarily we'll be using this with mac and cheese or with sandwiches or whatever we ultimately have. Now, before I dive into the ribs, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick taste of the pork here. And I do this without sauce first. I always like to taste the meat on its own. I wanna know, how much smoke is there, what's the flavor like, and so I'm gonna do this way here first. All right. So from a reheated pork standpoint, it's not quite as good as fresh. You know, I think that's one of those things you expect anytime you're reheating meat. You can taste a little bit of flavor in there. Not quite as much smoke as I like for, you know, for shredded pork. But once it's sauced up, I think that'll make a difference. You know, still make some good sandwiches. Still going to mix in really well with the mac and cheese we've got going on. Now for the ribs feel like and seem like they reheat pretty well. So this one, sorry, I didn't do the best cutting job, but you can see that piece I'll eat later. Good smoke ring going on. There is a thin glaze of barbecue sauce on here. Generally when I'm cooking ribs, I usually prefer them naked. That'd be really awkward in the backyard. But I would tell you, I prefer them without sauce, just with rub, so that I can taste the smoke, and then I'll use the sauce just kind of as an extra on top of it. So there's a slight glaze on here, but not too much. So I still think I'm gonna get kind of that native flavor from the smoke that'll be here. Good looking ring. The rack, you know, it smelled really good before I put it in the oven, and smells good coming out. Gonna go ahead and just take some off here. Oh yeah, that's good. So, think about a rack of ribs like this. You can reheat them and it still preserves a lot of the flavor. So, yeah, it's good. I like it. I would say I like the ribs more than the pork. Pork is a good standard, you know, pork, but is it worth ordering on Goldbelly when I've got a couple of barbecue restaurants around here where I can buy the pork in bulk? Probably not. But it's still a chance to try something new, which I always appreciate. I'll take a little sample here in a minute using the sauce that they sent as well. I'm going to use that with the pork. I'm going to use it with the mac and cheese. I'll give the ribs a slight glaze and let you know what I think of that too. Next up is a quick taste of the Memphis BBQ sauce. Already mentioned that I've got some mac and cheese ready to go. I've got the ribs. It's just falling right off the bone. So the thing I like to do is really kind of chop that up, mix it in with some mac and cheese, or have it mixed in with some pulled pork. But giving this sauce a shot, it's on there. Huh. Sauce is good. It's on the sweeter side, which I appreciate. I'm more of a sweet sauce person than a vinegar-based, you know, that you get a lot of times down in Texas. I'm less of a fan of the vinegar-based sauces. So having one here that's sweeter is personally my preference. It's a good sauce. Ribs are good. Barbecue is good. Mentioned the making sure that the bags are sealed. Outside of that, you know, I mean, it's good. I'm glad that I ordered it. Is it anything better or worse than I could get here locally and have it be fresh? Probably not. But at the same time, it's always nice to try something new. So appreciate you watching. If you're into these reviews, I'm always eating. So keep watching. Thanks so much. Have a good night.